saying? It's just my thing is
I'm trying to help these young people. You know, I've done extensive. As far as we go, a lot of our friends dead. They are dead. God froze up on my hand too. But I also want to tell you this.
talking about abuse. We don't talk about those things because deep down it's been generationally passed down to us that ain't nobody trying to hear your motherfucking problems.
Don't be scared, it's real. No more dreaming dreams. Now we're living dreams. Go tell all the homies why you know you ever since I let you in. You're my first and my last, and whatever in between.
What's up? What's up? Welcome everybody back to another edition of Recovery Talk. I will be your host today. This is Mr. Show Out TV. And we got a very special show planned for all today. So I would love for everybody out there to get your popcorn ready. Go and relax. Because we got a very special lady, Miss Rachel Paz, will be sharing her journey and her testimony and her story with us and her battles with addiction and how she is overcoming the odds. But today, I would love for everybody that is out there right now. I lost a very, very special friend of mine. And he passed away the other day. The day before that, everybody, his dad died. So father and son passed away literally 24 hours behind each other. I would love to send my condolences to the Riley family. I would love to send my condolences to his mother, his brother, and their entire Riley family. The city of Wynn, we are mourning, and I would love for everybody out there to continue to pray for the city. And man, this one is kind of hard to swallow, everybody. This was my classmate. He was my brother. We grew up together. He knows me personally. And this death of him and his father together, the city of Wynn is mourning. So I would love for everybody to please send your prayers to the Riley family of Wynn, Arkansas. Like I said, this is a tragic death. And Pierre Pato Riley, you will be really missed, brother. You will be missed. I love you. You my classmate. You my brother. Rest in peace, brother. I love you. Today, everybody, welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me today. This is my channel, Mr. Show Out TV, where I have guests on my show. We speak about addiction-related topics. We talk about things like what can we do to inspire the youth. We try to change the narrative. We try to give insight about addiction as well. So that is what my channel is about. And today, I got a very special guest. She will be on the show today with us today. Her name is Rachel Paz, and she will be blessing us today with her story and her journey. So this will be a very, very special show. But I would love to say happy holidays to everybody that is out there right now. Happy holidays to everybody out there. And this is what we're doing. We're trying to change the narrative. And we're finna have a very, very good show, everybody. So what I would love for you to do, sit back and unwind. Y'all finna be entertained today. Yes, like I was saying, everybody, if this is your first time to the channel, what I would love for you to do is going to hit that like button coming straight through the door. Hit the like button, and also make sure you hit your notification bell. So anytime I go live, you will be notified, and you will be always in the loop whenever I'm dropping new content and whenever I'm going live. But today, I would love for everybody to introduce Miss Rachel Paz to the channel today, everyone. Um,
Hello, everybody.
Okay, Rachel, welcome to the show. This is Recovery
Thank
Talk,
you.
and I'm glad that I had the chance to connect with you also, and
Me too.
so you can share your journey and your insight about addiction. So we can. This is what we want to do. We want to inspire a lot of people in addiction. We want to
Right.
yes, we want to bring awareness to addiction. So that's the goal in hand for today. So
Okay.
can you introduce yourself to the viewers?
Yes. Hi, everybody. My name is Rachel Paz, um, and I am a recovering addict, recovering from mess. That is, I'm 49 years old. I just turned 49, and I just moved a whole state away to keep my sobriety. So I don't know if this is something that anybody else has had to do, but I know for me, it was definitely a must.
Mhm.
So I'm not really sure. Do I just start talking about it or?
Well, it's your flow. It's your flow. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. You can
So,
go right ahead.
okay. So I was what my family called a late bloomer to the whole drug scene because I didn't start using until I was in my mid 30s. And it was introduced to me by someone who called herself my friend. I was going through some personal things. Regarding my ex-husband and my children, and he ended up in prison. And my friend told me one day, "Hey, Rachel, you deserve to forget everything for a little while, and this will help you do that." And from that moment on, every day, I was choosing to forget, I guess. It definitely numbed out a lot of stuff. I had that nothing bothered me attitude. Um, I thought I was happy for a long time until things around me, I started to notice my friends were dying, family members were dying, and it just, I had no concept of time. So everything just seemed like it was so far apart, but at the same time, so close together. And my emotions, I did not know how to handle that because even though I was numbing things out, you have these splurts of just overwhelming sadness. It didn't last, but they definitely were overwhelming. And when that would happen, it always got me to question what I was doing, how I was behaving, how I was acting, the kinds of stuff that I was saying. And every time it would happen and I would think about those things, I would start to feel regret, shame, fear. Just I hit a depression like no other. And it definitely took me to a really dark place to the point where I didn't even leave my room. And in that world, I noticed that being a female, you really don't have to do much to get someone's attention. And so I didn't even have to leave my room. Everything came to me there. My friends would stop by and whatever. I just had to sit there. So I didn't even have to worry about leaving my room. And when after a while I got so used to not leaving my room that it was hard to even go to the store after a while. And this is after about 3 years
Right.
of not leaving my room.
Right.
Just going to the store was hard. It was very uncomfortable. I always felt like everybody was staring at me. I always felt like everybody was talking about me, like, "Ooh, look, she came out of her room." And
Hmm.
people would make even comments about it. And I was very insecure for
Right.
a long time. I was in an abusive relationship off and on for 10 years. Um, and I didn't like myself very much. So I know for a lot of people that I have spoken to, they felt exactly the same way that I did, just going through a lot of the same, but very different at the
Different.
same time. Everybody came into the life for a different reason. Some have really great backgrounds. They came from really good families. Some came from really messed up families. I was somewhere in the middle. It didn't matter, it doesn't discriminate where you come from and who you are. When drugs
Right.
come in, they just
Right.
want to take you and devour you
Yes.
like no other.
Right.
And it doesn't discriminate. It doesn't care how old you are. It doesn't care if you're a man or
You're right.
woman. It
Mhm.
does not care.
You're right.
And when it's got you, it's a fight. It's a fight to come out of it. And I think if you just stick with it, you can. You can
Right.
fight. I know a lot of people who are recovering. I know for myself, it took me, I was in that life for about 15 years, and it took me several times to walk away. And I always came back. And
Hmm.
every time I came back, I was losing a family member or a friend. And it was ridiculous. And it was just
Hmm.
one thing after another. I
Hmm.
know that this last time, it was my mom that passed away from COVID. And it was on her deathbed that I promised that I would get sober and I would better myself. And I wanted to keep that promise. I wanted to make sure that I kept that promise. I even have some earrings in my ear that I've had in the whole time that I've been sober to remind me daily that I made this promise. And I don't know for how many of the viewers believe in God. I know for me,
Yeah.
God was a huge part of my life. Before I was using drugs, and during when I was using drugs, and after, you know, especially with my recovery, God
Mhm.
was a big part for me because he never, no matter how I was feeling about myself, he never let me forget that I was loved, that I was important, and that I was worth it,
Right.
and that if I just leaned on him more, that I would have the strength and the courage to walk away.
Right.
And it when my mom passed away, it was a bittersweet moment because at the time I was not happy about it. Of course, I started to slip into a depression
Mhm.
again, but I had not the day of my mom's death. I didn't use, and I think a lot of it at first started with not so much the promise I made her, but because I was so depressed that I couldn't even get out of bed for 2 weeks, and but then I just heard this voice talking to me, telling me to get up. And I know that was my God. I know it was my God who told me, get up. You can do this. Your family needs you right now, and you're not done. I'm not done with you. And I don't know if this is true for a lot of people, but I know for me sometimes when you're in the same town or county from which how people know you in your drug life, they don't trust you. They don't trust
Right.
you. They never stop looking at you any different other than what you used to do, which is
Mhm.
you were a drug addict one time.
Mhm.
And so opportunities don't happen. Doors don't open. You don't have favor with people because they don't trust you. So sometimes God has to move you in order to give you those opportunities, to give you that new start that you need.
Right.
And I know that's true for me. I know that in during the drug use, there were times where I would play worship music and I would just sit there and I would just sit there sometimes in the dark or sometimes with a dim light, and I would just sit there listening to that music, hoping and praying that one day I would find myself out of that mess, out of that situation, out of that time. As sad as I was, it just seemed like it was the hardest fight I ever fought in my life, was to
Right.
get out of that. And you think it would be easy because you're so sad, you don't want to feel that no more, but
Mhm.
it's not. It's, it was one
Mhm.
of the most difficult things I've ever been through in my life, was that drug use. And I know my family, seeing me like that hurt them. My kids seeing me like that hurt them. And my mom happened to see me like that. Her heart. Nobody thought that I would ever recover because I was so late into the game, as
Right.
they call it. And it was one of the most challenging periods of my life. That was 15 years. And but I don't regret none of it because I know for me, God took what was meant to break me, he turned it in for his good. And
Hmm.
rather than, I'm not saying that I'm not jaded. I am a little jaded from the life, but my heart is still, I'm still compassionate for people. I still have faith in the human race.
Right.
I believe that there's kindness out there. I
Right.
believe that there's we are so we're too smart for our own good, obviously.
We're right.
But
You're right.
but we're survivors. The human race, like there's animals who are going extinct. There's insects going extinct. There's fish life going extinct. But the human race is the only thing that seems to be overpopulating. And there's a reason for that. It's because we're fighters, we're survivors, and we're not going anywhere. And we're so worried about the smallest things like racism. I don't think that should be an issue anymore. I don't think sexism should be
Right.
an issue anymore. We got bigger things to worry about. We got our loved ones who are trapped in a life that just wants to take them down and until they're dead. It wants to take them, and we need to learn how to pull together and unite and encourage one another instead of judging one another. We need to uplift one another instead of tearing each other down.
Right.
We need to love one another instead of
Right.
hating one another.
Right. That's right.
That all those things are so there's a huge impact on the human race because we're God made us to where we have feelings and our thoughts will run with our feelings and our feelings will run with our thoughts. So when we are tearing one another down, we're only tearing ourselves down as well because we never know when a time is going to when the shift happens when a shift
Hmm.
happens we never know that one person we tore down is the person that's going to make one of the biggest decisions in our life,
Hmm.
whether it's a yes or no, whether it be they work at a bank and they're there to say yes or no to your loan,
Hmm.
or you're trying to get a car and they're there to say yes or no to the loan to
Yeah.
your car.
You're
You
right.
never know.
You're right. You're right.
you know and people, we need to keep that in mind because when we are mean to somebody, we may not we may not physically be killing them, but we are spiritually killing them. We're killing their soul is crying. They're hurting, and if we get hurt, imagine how someone else feels when we're that way with them. So I believe that the human race, we can accomplish so much if we were just to unite together and be as one and not be separated by color, you know? And I think that drugs has a lot to do with that because it starts to separate people even more
Right.
rather than pulling them together. People
Right.
think they're all together, but they're not. When you're
Right.
on drugs, you're the most loneliest person in the world because you can't trust anybody.
Hmm.
You can't believe what they say.
Right.
There's there's constant backstabbing. There's constant lying to you. There's constant um, and then you got this paranoia, right? Everybody thinks that people are plotting against them,
Right. Yeah. You're
right?
so
And
right.
so,
Yep.
yeah, and people, and then you start attacking because you think, well, I'm gonna get them first, right? So
Right.
drugs just it doesn't unite nothing. It causes division.
Yes.
And even it don't matter if you're a group of white people, a group of black people, a group of Mexicans, Chinese, it don't matter. It will divide you regardless. It does not matter. It does not discriminate on any of that. It
Yeah.
doesn't care. Satan's only purpose is to take you
Yeah.
down
Yes.
and keep you down until you're in the ground. You know. So I mean, I know a lot of people, whatever your higher power is, I would say lean on that. Lean on that, grab a hold of it, and get yourself out of this hole because that hole will devour you and your family along with you. Because sometimes some of us people, we got family members who look up to us. We got younger generations looking up to us. Whether we want to be or not, we're teachers. Regardless if we want to be or not, we are being looked at by the younger generation.
Right.
So how we carry ourselves, how we respond to things, how we react to things, how we deal with life, period. We are teaching the next generation, no matter what, and every generation after that, as long as we're alive.
Right.
So, if we can I know for me, I was a little scared to come on here. I
Right.
didn't really understand what I said yes to. And once I
Right.
realized what I said yes to, I was nervous. You knew this,
Mm-hmm.
and I almost backed out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I know God has a purpose for each and every one of us.
Right. Right.
He has a purpose for each and every one of us. He has us, he can uplift us, and he can pull us out of anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I know if he can do it for me, he can do it for anybody. I currently live with two nieces right now.
Right.
And these two are the most strongest women I know.
Right.
Alongside with my daughter, alongside with my son,
Mm-hmm.
and my oldest daughter and my other son. I have four children. And they are the strongest people I know. You know, um, I know that my son he was hooked on pills, fentanyl, and stuff like that. And he took himself, he grabbed a hold of himself, and he's now in a recovery program.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my daughter pulled herself out of that life too. She now has three jobs,
Mm-hmm.
and she talks to my other daughter because my other daughter adopted her children,
Right.
and now they're coming together and just being a family, and that's what God can do. Whatever's divided, God can unite. God can bring back together
Right.
what Satan tried to tear
Right.
apart.
Right.
I know it may seem like it can't happen for you, like you'll never see that kind of thing, or you will never experience those kind of things. That kind of stuff only happens to other people. That's not true. I am living proof that that is not true. I used to think the same way. I used to think that nothing good like that would ever happen to me and mine, but that's not true. You know, um, I get told by my oldest daughter all the time when she remembers something she might have said or did in when she was a teenager.
Right.
Because teenagers will test your ghetto like nobody's
Yeah.
business.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my oldest was one of the meanest. She was one of the meanest. She was the cruelest in her words. And she'll remember something that she did or said, and she'll apologize. Now, let me tell you, as a mother, I never kept tally points. I don't
Right.
even remember more than half of the stuff she said or did.
Right.
But she'll remember. She'll call me on the phone, or if I'm in the same room with her, she'll look at me and say, "Mom, I'm sorry for whatever it is that she remembered that she did or said."
Right.
And she never would have done that before had God not come into the picture, had
Mm-hmm.
God not come in and touched her life and my life. You know, um, my kids, they love God, they love church, they believe in the Holy Spirit. They all have the gift of tongues, and we're not perfect by any means. We're far from it. Our family is not without its flaws.
Right.
And we're just learning though. We're learning as we go. We're all trying to recover from the hurt that happened,
Mm-hmm.
the the betrayal that people felt from one another in that life, right? Because that happens too, because it takes us out of our character.
Mm-hmm.
It'll pull you out of people
It
in that
will.
life will pull you out of character,
It will.
not because they're well, I can't speak for everybody, but for the most part, people, when they're younger, they don't sit here and say, oh, you know what? If I ever do drugs and I see somebody new coming in, I'm gonna pull them in and tell them it's okay to be like that. People
Mm-hmm.
they don't think like that at first.
They don't.
But
They don't.
when you're in that life,
Mm-hmm.
right, they do. Misery loves company.
Yes.
It loves to have its company
Yes.
until it doesn't want to no more.
You're
You know, and
absolutely
so
right.
people will pull you in. They'll pull you out of your character. You'll get led out of your character in that life. You'll do things that you've never done or would never do. You'll say
Mhm.
things that you've never said or would never say. You act in a way that you would never act. Or, I'm just saying, like, I get that anybody who's on drugs right now, anybody who's struggling, I know, I know what you're feeling. I know what you're going through. It didn't start with me. I'm the youngest out of six siblings,
Right.
and I'm the only girl. And the closest brother to me in age, we're 7 years apart. Every single one of my brothers did drugs. They were in and out of prison. I have some that they're still struggling with that. It's all they've ever known. They don't know who they are outside of it. And it's sad, and I wish that they would trust God enough, but I'm going to keep praying them in. My point is this, no matter what you're going through, no matter what you've been through, God can pull you out of that. You just gotta lean into whatever your higher power is, even if it's not God. Whatever you think gives you the strength, then I say tap into it. Me, I'm gonna use God a lot, and I'm sorry for those of you who don't
No,
believe in God, but
go right
but it's
ahead.
what God did for me.
Right.
God pulled me out of that,
Right.
and and I have things that I didn't even realize that I didn't even heal from until recently, because even before my drug use, I was I was popping pills before I even did meth. Okay,
Right.
so there's the first drug I was doing, and then I was an alcoholic for about 2 years of my life before I even got hooked on meth. So then there's that one. We're all running from something. We're
Mhm.
all trying to run from something, from things we never dealt with. I know that the situation that occurred between my ex-husband that got him in prison, it brought up old memories that I had gone through, things that I went through, when I was younger. And I think that's what jump started it all, because before my friend introduced me to crystal meth, I was drinking with my neighbors and popping pills with my neighbors.
Right.
And as a little girl, I was raped, I was molested. As a teenager, I was stalked and almost raped again.
Right.
We all go through things, and
Right.
those things will try to tell you that you don't deserve no better than what you're doing right now, than what you're allowing yourself to have right now, in that drug life. And I'm telling you right now that it's not true. It's not true. Don't let that drug lie to you.
Hmm.
You are perfectly flawed. You are deserving to have love, to be loved, to
Right.
feel love, and to love.
Right.
You are worthy to have the very best that life has to offer you. You are deserving of to have the best that life has to offer you, and God can give you those things.
Right.
He can restore. He can turn sadness into happiness. He can turn loneliness into feeling loved and complete.
Right.
You know, he doesn't promise you that you won't ever hurt again, that you won't struggle again, that you won't know heartache again. What he does promise you is that he'll be right there alongside you. If he pulled you to it, he will walk you out of it.
Hmm.
And that's my God. That's what I know my God did for me in my drug use. And like I said, I was in a deep depression. I was going, I thought, nowhere. I was not happy. I had nothing nice to say to people. I was mean. I was known as a stuck up, you know, a bee.
Yeah, you can say it.
People.
You can say
I was
it.
known as a stuck up bitch. That's what I
Go
was
let
known as.
go let it
I
out
was
there,
known
girl.
as a stuck up bitch, and people had to prepare themselves to, even if they would want to come visit my brother or come
Uh-huh.
visit one of my friends in that life, and people had to prepare themselves to come around because I stressed them out because of how I was. I was not nice, and I always said things, whatever popped in my head, I was saying it. It didn't matter. Whatever I thought about you, I was saying it. Whatever um, how I felt was going on in the moment, I was saying it. I never held back. And so people literally would have to mentally prepare themselves to come around anywhere that I was. You know, it was horrible.
Right.
So, you know, I was definitely out of my character because if you ask anybody today
Hmm.
who I am, they will tell you that I'm one of the nicest people that you'll meet, the kindest people you'll ever meet, and I'm compassionate,
Right.
you know. Now, when people say these things, I'd be lying if I said I didn't have a hard time believing that all the time. I like to think that I am, but I know that I'm not perfect. So when people say, oh, you're so kind or you're so this, you know what? Satan still tries to come in and tell me,
Right.
no, you're not. No, you're not. I remember who you were. I remember how you were. And he'll try to tear you down in your recovery, because that's what he does.
That's
But
what
you
it.
have to remember that you are a child of the Most High. And he says otherwise. He says, no, you're not like that. No, you're not a bitch. No, you're not a slut. No, you're not a hooker. That is not who you are. No, you're not a liar. No, you're not a thief. You are who I say you are. That's what God says. He says, don't worry about what people say about you. Don't worry about what people think about you. And even when you're scared, you just lean on him and he will get you, he will lead you to wherever it is that you want to be with yourself and where you want to be in life. You just have to trust him. And it's a scary thing. It's a scary thing because you become comfortable in that lifestyle.
Right.
It's what you know and it's familiar.
Yes.
So
What they
you
always
get
say. What they always say.
yeah,
The people, places, and things.
that's right. We are creatures of habit, man, and we don't, and some of us have a hard time with change. So even though we're in a lifestyle that has got you feeling so sad, and nothing's going to change, every day you got to struggle to get your next high, whether you're on heroin, pills, crystal meth, or whatever it is that you do, alcohol, whatever it is,
Right.
right? Every day you got to figure out how you're going to get your next high.
Right.
Sometimes some of us every hour or two we
Right.
have to figure out how we're gonna
You're
get it.
right.
It's
You're right. You're right.
it's tiring. It's
You're
so
right.
tiring. Yet you're fighting and you're struggling in that life. You're already going through some crap in that life, so you might as well pick up your armor and fight to get out of that life, to stay out of that life, because you're worth it. You're deserving of it, and everybody deserves to be loved. Everybody deserves to know what it is to be loved,
Right.
and we got to find that within ourselves first because we lose who we are and we forget who we are, and then we no longer like ourselves, and then we just assume that no one likes us either because that's how it is in that lifestyle. Nobody likes anybody, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's competing with everybody
You're right
over
on.
everything.
Yeah. You're totally right on that. Because it seems like when we in our addiction, our only focus is like you were saying is the next high. Where can we get it? How can we get it? Who can we manipulate?
Yes.
What ways do we do it? We never take the time out to think about who are we harming.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
never think about the feelings of others that we
That's
may
right.
be that we use and damage the feelings of others while we in this addiction. But I love to piggyback off of what you said. Addiction shows
Okay.
no favoritism at all. Addiction shows
Right.
it don't shows no favoritism. Black,
No, it don't.
yes, black, race, gender, whatever background, ethnicity, whatever it is. Once you take the panties off of them drugs, it can consumes your well-being, your mental state, everything that you have going for yourself. It will tear it down and crumbles. But that is what it's
Yeah.
made for. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like I love this, like the way you said. We need to get a hold of it. So that's what I love to do on this channel. I love to have special people like you. And I know, like you said at the beginning, you was kind of skeptical about doing the show.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to inform you to just relax. I haven't been doing this a full year yet, and it's next month for me will be a 4 year sober from alcohol. So that's the reason why
Awesome.
yes. So I pat myself. I'm also going to college. I started last month my second semester. So I'm trying to become, I'm trying to get my master's and to become a drug and alcohol counselor. So,
Oh, amazing. That's
so,
awesome.
so that's, I created this channel um, to share my stories. And with me sharing my stories, I found that it inspires other people. So while I was doing this, I'm like, you know what? I'm finna start having live guests on the show. So my viewers and everybody can communicate with each other. Everybody can share their stories, and everybody can get can learn from what's going on. Because one
Yes.
thing about it, we may never change how drugs get into the community. The war on drugs, we all know that'll never be defeated.
Right, right.
But one thing we can most definitely do is try to share our stories and what really goes on the back end of using drugs. Yes,
Right.
the mainstream loves to glorify it. Everybody love to glorify from entertainers to athletes and everything. They glorify it, but
Yes,
on
they
the
do.
back end of using drugs, you don't never know what it's like being down when when
Right.
when when it's beating on your head when the people come take your kids out of your house, or you lose your
Yes.
job, or you done lost your car, or you go to jail, and now the state trying to take everything from you, and that's the part of addiction that a lot of people do not like to talk about. But see,
Exactly.
that's what I love to
Yeah,
try to bring to my channel. That's what I do.
that's awesome. Yeah. You're right. We don't. Those are the things that people don't talk about, especially in the movies or things like that, because
Mhm.
even some of the movies that they do when they show some of the crazier side of drug use or drug selling, okay, they still glorifying it by the money that's coming through, right? And I don't know, unless you're in some, I don't know, some third world country, or you're like in some high mafia. I've never seen money coming in people's hands like that. Not that
Right.
large amount. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that it don't happen,
Right.
because I'm sure it does. But there's
Yeah.
a high price to pay for that.
Oh yeah.
There's a high price to pay for that.
Oh
Still,
yeah.
it don't matter if you're making money or not. There's a high price to pay for it. You're sacrificing your happiness. You're sacrificing your well-being and those who love you and that are around you and their well-being,
Right.
because you do become out of character. You do. I know people, I've heard people tell me how they, in their drug use, when they had a parent or a sibling die, somebody who was close to them, and they didn't even go to the funeral. Not because they couldn't handle it, but simply for the fact they were busy. They had every intentions on making it, but they needed to find that next high first,
Right.
you know? And that can beat down on somebody. That right there, people start to believe they're not worthy or capable, and I think it's our job as a people to educate one another in that area, to speak the ugliness that happens.
Right.
We don't talk about those things. We don't talk about the struggles that you go through out there, as far as you're walking with somebody that you're familiar with, and you may have even known them for years, but you only know them in that drug life, right?
Mhm.
And after a while, you become so suspicious and paranoid that you're constantly wondering if they're setting you up. Like, are they walking you to getting jumped? Are they walking
Right.
you to to set you up because you think they're in a they're working with the police, right?
Right.
Like they're a narc, or a rat, whatever
Right.
you want to call them, right?
Mhm.
Um, so you're constantly walking in fear. You're doubting everything, yourself and everyone around you, and then it changes your appearance. You know, I know, I know a lot of people that just the look in their face, their whole face. Just, I know for me, mine did. I mean, I was so skinny. I was so skinny. I remember walking with a backpack, and I had a back. It was just a medium-sized backpack, and I had it full with stuff, and I tripped. I was so skinny that I couldn't even stop myself from hitting the ground.
Wow.
You know, because the backpack was so heavy, and I was probably under 100 pounds at that time. You know, I was fitting into a size double zero. You know, and I was a grown woman. I was like 39 years old. So, you know, people don't talk about those things. They don't talk about the infections that your body gets, that people
Right.
fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the sickness that people get. You know, I know that an ex-boyfriend of mine, he's dealing with congestive heart failure because of it. You know, and I know quite a few people that have congestive heart failure now because of the drug use. You know, they don't talk about the ugliness of
Yeah.
that. They talk about
Right.
the hardship. They
Yes.
don't talk about what it does to your appearance. I know
Yes.
people who don't take they wouldn't even take showers for days. People are
Right.
in dumpsters. People are pushing shopping carts, and that's their life. I know people who are homeless now and are struggling to even get on their feet because
Right.
they have to, every time they start to gain some stuff and start to gain some self-confidence, right? Because
Mhm.
they live in tents in certain areas, the city comes and takes all this stuff and throw it, and then they're starting from all over again,
Right.
you know? And, you know, nobody likes to follow rules. I get that, you know, especially when you're used to not following rules in that lifestyle.
Right.
But my advice to anybody is this, you know, suck it up, Buttercup, because it's worth it.
Right.
You know, go if you can go to the shelter, if you can go.
Right.
If you can get help from a family member, get it.
Oh,
If
yes.
you can enter a rehab program, go.
No.
It's worth it. Suck it
Yes.
up and go because it's better than the life that you're living. Trust me.
Yes.
So much
I'm
better.
yes, I'm glad you said that because I was at a point in my life where it was taking me down so bad that I had to make a decision on myself. Like, okay, is this worth losing your family? Is this worth
Right.
losing your mind over? And you know, sometimes in our addiction, we have to hit rock bottom. You
Yeah,
know,
literally.
some people have to hit rock bottom before they can look up and be like, God, please deliver me from this. And I was at that moment one night, and I had to have emergency surgery from drinking. I had ulcers that almost killed me. And when I started feeling those pains in my stomach, I knew it wasn't right. I never felt it.
Right.
I'm 38 years old, and out of 38 years of my life, I never had that feeling in my stomach. I couldn't. It hit me so hard I couldn't do nothing. And
Right.
I literally, because I talk to God on this daily basis, and He knows me. He knows my heart. And I asked Him, Rachel. I was like, I'm tired. I'm tired. I give up. I can't do this anymore. And when I did that, I know that it wasn't nobody but God that delivered me through that. I had to have surgery.
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't nobody but Him because on the day of me going to rehab, now Rachel, let me tell you this story. On the day of me going to rehab, I left my car at my house. My wife was at work, so I left my car so she could have my car when she got home. So I'm looking for a ride to the rehab facility. And I walked around to the bodega, to the corner store, and I asked one person that pulled in. I say, hey, look, I'm not panhandling. I got money. I got my clothes packed. I said, I just need a ride to this rehab facility. They was like, well, I'm not going that way. I'm like, okay. So I see a next person pull in. And they, I pretty much asked them the same question. They were like, nah, I'm not going that way. I got to get to work. I'm like, okay. So I started walking back to the house. I'm like, you know what? Forget it. I'm just gonna just drive myself to the facility. On my way walking back home, I hear this truck pulling up. Something told me to stop this truck. So I turned around and I stopped the truck. I said, "Hey, sir, I'm trying to better myself. I got gas money. I'm not asking for anything. I just need a ride to this facility." He said, "Are you ready right now?" I said, "Yes, sir. I got my clothes packed. I got everything." He said, "Where you stay at?" I stay right around this corner right here. He said, "Give me 5 minutes and I will be there." So he pulled up within 5 minutes and we on our way to the facility. And he looked at me and he said, "Do you know who I am?" He said, "I am a pastor."
Oh,
He said, "God told me that he will be sending me to you." And when he took me to the facility, he hopped out the truck. He said, "I'm not just dropping you off. I'm finna come in there and ask him, can I be your sponsor?" And when we walked in, he was holding my bag. And I thought that was my father. I cannot make this up. I know that it was nobody but God
God. Yeah.
talking to me, because the last person I stopped was a pastor. You know, God works in mysterious ways.
He does.
He might not be always there when you need him, but he always on time. And
Very much so.
and he still is delivering me. Not me saying I'm not perfect, but I have not did any alcohol or drugs, in a year. And that is
Awesome.
a total blessing for me. And like I said, everybody, this is Mr. Show Out TV. This is the channel to come to share your story. We want to motivate you. We want to give hope. We just want to change the narrative on here. This is nothing fake. This is real life stories. So, and Rachel, that's what I wanted to create, an environment that we can have people come on this show. And I'm so blessed that you took the time out, because I know you were skeptical about.
I was scared. I was nervous. Like I said, I had no concept or clue that we would be live.
Right.
And so, yeah, I was very nervous. But I said I would. And,
Right.
I just kept feeling this tugging from God to just to go, just to do it no matter what, just speak on what you know and what you went through and things like that. So, yeah,
Like
it was scary, but I'm glad I did it.
I
Yeah.
know, because when I reached out to you, I had seen your stories, on the website. And so
Yes.
I reached out to you. And when you finally reached back, I was real happy. But my part is, I wanted to make you feel as comfortable as ever. That's why, I wanted to send you like some other episodes.
Yeah, yes.
So you can feel comfortable. Like I said, Rachel, this ain't even been a year of me doing this. I'm still jittery when I'm trying to, because I'm not a professional in this. It's, like I said, it'll be a year next month of me being sober. And I created this YouTube channel about 2 months after I got out of rehab. And, I created this channel to upload my videos, just to show to my friends, show to some of my people that is still in addiction.
Right.
In the making of doing this, a lot of people was hitting me up saying, "Man, you got a strong message. Continue what you're doing." And so that there gives me a lot of motivation.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Like I like to tell a lot of people, this is my vice. This is like what I like to do. I like to work out now. I love to, I also work, and me and my wife just had our third child last month, our baby boy named Kingston.
Oh, congratulations. That's
So
awesome.
thank you. So God is continually to bless me, and I continually to give him praise, and I continually thank him, because a lot of things could have went left field for me, So that's what we
for a
love.
lot of us, yeah.
That's what we love to do. Like I said, thank you. And I'm telling you, I would love to have you on the show again. But like I said,
Sure.
thank you. But
Yeah,
Well, like I said,
absolutely.
I'm so glad. I got a couple questions for you. They real easy.
Okay.
Do not worry. But I just want to inform everybody. This is Mr. Show Out TV. If you are just tuning in, we got a very special guest. Ms. Rachel Paz is sharing her story with us, and we are getting very deep into the story of addiction. We're trying to change the narrative. We're just trying to inspire everybody. So if you're just tuning in right now, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. They are free, and make sure you hit the notification bell. So when anytime I go live, you will be notified. Okay, Miss Rachel. What scares you the most about trying to stay clean?
What scares me the most about trying to stay clean is doing the unknown. It's the unknown, really, that scares me the most because I want to be different. I want change to happen, right? Especially the kind of change that God has for me, right? But at the same time, like doing this show, right? The unknown is scary. You don't know. You don't know how it's going to go. You don't know in which direction it's going to take you. I am very uncomfortable with all eyes being on me.
Right,
And that's
right,
what scared me about the show. Okay,
right.
so I'm not real comfortable with that kind of thing. But I also know that God's been trying to pull me out of my shell
Right.
and getting me comfortable with eyes being on me, because at some point, right, you have to tell your testimony. You have to, right? How else are we going to help one another, encourage one another, if we don't tell how we came from a dark place, right? It's what we're supposed to do. So that's probably what I'm most afraid of, is the unknown. The unknown, where I'm going to go next, what's going to happen next, what am I going to do next? That's scary to me.
Okay. If you could talk to the old Rachel, what would you tell her?
Oh man, that is a good question. Wow, there's so much I would want to tell her. I think the one thing I would want to tell her is that she's strong enough and worth so much more than she ever thought she was. That would be the two things I would want to say.
Thank you. Are you enjoying life at this moment?
Absolutely. Even though it's scary, I'm laughing a lot more. I'm smiling a lot more. I'm joking around a lot more. I'm a lot more talkative, and I love the fact that I'm not negative and I'm not being known as a stuck-up bitch. So yes, I am loving life. I'm loving the new things that are happening. The new people that I'm meeting. Yes,
Right.
I'm enjoying life.
I can honestly see it. I can see it radiating off of you. I can see
Oh,
that you,
thank you.
I can see that you are in a very, very peaceful place in life right now. And
Yes, I am.
and that is what we are trying to do in addiction. What are you most happy for?
Oh, my family. I love what God is doing with me and my family. But there was if you would have known me, okay, in my family, you would have seen the division. You would have never guessed that how united we are, that it would ever happen. So I'm very grateful. I love that I'm loved by my kids, my grandkids, and my nieces and my nephews, and by my brothers. Those are the things that I love right now. Yes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Do you feel that you have reached your full potential?
No,
Right.
absolutely not. I feel like we never stop learning. Therefore, our potential is higher than we ever think it is. It's further than we ever think it is. It's wider than we ever thought it could be. There's so much more to us. And so, no, I don't think I've reached my potential. I don't know that I ever will, but I know that I am always going to strive to. Absolutely. Always want to be a better me than I was yesterday. So
That's awesome.
for
That's
sure.
awesome. Well, how is life treating you?
Oh, since I used to live in California,
Mhm.
and just literally not even a month yet, I had to, God told me to get on a plane and move to Idaho. And so that's what I did. And ever since I came here, there have been opportunities just in a few weeks. Opportunity. I've met new people. I met a new church family who have taken me into their home and have just loved on me and have shared with me. And, her and I, we met on the group Sober for Life on
Okay.
Facebook. That's how
Okay.
we met, and that's how we talked. And she invited me to church when she heard I was coming to Idaho. And the funny thing about it is, I said yes, but at the same time, as soon as she sent the message and as soon as I said yeah, we both were like, what did I just do? I invited this stranger, but the thing is God was speaking to her and telling her to get me to the church and he'd do the rest. And then God, at the same time, God's telling me to trust him to get in the car because he wanted to bless me, but he needed to get me into his house filled with his children.
Right.
So, we both acted and moved on in our fear. And so, yeah, life has been good.
Thank
Life has
you.
been good.
That's
Life has
awesome.
been good.
It seems that you're happy. It seems that the family is going well. And,
Yes.
from me to you, continue the journey. See, that's what we
Thank
do.
you.
We need each other in addiction. We need to be there for one another. So that is what
Yes.
this is about. So, like I say, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Um, mhm. Are you at peace in life at this present moment?
Yes, I am at peace. Um, I have definitely come to a place in my life where Um, I no longer look at my past and feel bad about it. I no longer look at my past and be flooded with regret. I no longer look at my past where I'm flooded with sadness. Now I miss my mom. I've lost two nephews and a niece and a brother. I've lost two cousins in a span of 10 years. Okay, and so I know loss and I know heartache. But now when I think about them, it's not that I don't miss them. I can smile. I can laugh. I can talk about the memories I have and take them with me. I don't feel like they're really gone. I just kind of carry them here in my heart and in my memory, and they're on this journey with me, and I know if they were here, they would be proud of me. So I'm totally at peace, with everything. I'm totally at peace with my life, and I'm looking forward to the journey ahead, really.
Thank you. Are there anything you would like to accomplish while you in your sobriety?
Yes. So one thing I would love to accomplish is I've always known that I was going to be um, what's the right word? I was going to be kind of upfront and up close and center, right? I was going to have all eyes. I've always known that. God told me that a long time ago about myself, and I think once he told me that, I've always had this feeling of fear about the unknown, and I think that's where it comes from. But the truth is that I'm learning to move in that fear. So the one thing I want to accomplish is I want to be able to accomplish being whatever that front, up front center thing is. I want to accomplish that. Whatever that is for what God means with that, that's what I want to accomplish. If nothing else, I want to be able to be up front and whether that's worshiping God in singing, worshiping God in praising, worshiping God in being just a prayer warrior, worshiping God in however teaching, mentoring, whatever that up front and center is, that's what I want to accomplish.
What makes you smile when you think about how far you came in your addiction?
Oh man, what makes me smile? What makes me smile right now, honestly, is I used to have this huge thing about being overweight, and what makes me smile is that I am confident in myself, even though I'm not 130 pounds. I'm like 165, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the little jelly roll that I have going on. Um, I'm okay with that. I feel secure in that, and so it makes me smile that I'm that comfortable with myself now. Yes.
What is the next move for you moving forward? You know, in your sobriety, what is the next plan for you?
Well, the next plan for me in my sobriety is that I do plan on going back to school at some point in the near future. Um, I haven't really, um, so I've looked it up and stuff, but my next plan is to go to school and to become an ultrasound tech. Now, that's 3 years of schooling. I'm 49 years old, so if I'm going to do that, I need to hurry up and get in the ball.
You
But
can
I
do it.
kind
You
of
can
feel that,
do it.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I feel like I can.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
really do. I'm pretty confident in myself in it, and I think I can handle the load that the schooling's going to have.
Right.
So that's my next plan. It's just to have a goal and then set myself towards it. Outside of that, my goal is to just continue on my walk with God and to become that godly woman that He sees in me. You know, absolutely.
If you can describe yourself with one word, what will it be and why?
Ooh, in one word, wow. If I could just, I would say if I had to describe myself in one word, it would be a warrior.
Right.
Because I have fought many battles that people saw and some that people didn't see. A lot of them that people didn't see. From the time from I was a little girl up, I fought battles, and each and every one of those battles could have taken me down, could have possibly ended my life, could have possibly made me into this quiet, withdrawn person, could have kept me in a life of depression, to where I had to be taking antidepressants and whatever else. All those things could have taken me down, but yet I'm still here and I'm smiling. I'm laughing and I'm proud of myself and I'm confident in who I am and where I'm going. So yeah, I think warrior definitely describes me well. And
Well,
anybody that's recovered and in recovery, absolutely.
you're definitely a warrior. And like I said, you hit all the questions great. Your responses were great. They were awesome. Like I say,
Awesome, thank
y'all,
you.
if you just tuning in, this is Mr. Show Out TV. I am your host. And today we have the lovely Rachel Paz on the show, everybody. This has been an awesome show. And I would love for everybody to continue to subscribe, continue to hit that like button, and most definitely make sure you always are hitting that notification bell when anytime we go live. Miss Rachel, is there anything you want to tell the viewers and for people out there that is going through, that is battling addiction? Is there anything that you would love to leave them with?
Yes, I would say don't give up. Don't give up and don't lose hope. Even if you fall, get back up, dust yourself off, and try again. And you keep doing that until you get to that place where you're fighting the good fight. But never ever give up and never stop trying and never lose hope.
Like I say, thank you for accepting this offer. And I
Thank
told you
you.
it wasn't gonna be that bad, right?
It was not that bad. No, once I started talking, it was okay.
Thank you. Like I say, thank you for choosing this channel to come to. Thank you for blessing
Thank
us.
you.
And thank you for blessing the viewers. I really enjoyed this conversation. I really enjoyed this interview. And
Thank you.
anytime that you feel like you need to reach out to me, um, anytime that you feel like that you have something that you would love to share to the audience, to the viewers, feel free to contact me at any time.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate the opportunity to come on your show very much.
Thank you. So thank you again, Miss Rachel Paz. I will be seeing you soon.
Okay, sounds good.
Bye. There you have it, everybody. What a great show. What a great message. What a great warrior. I asked Miss Rachel Paz if she could describe herself with one word. And why? She described herself as a warrior. That touched me right there, everybody. Because in addiction, we have to be warriors. In addiction, we have to be strong. In addiction, we have to be fearless. In addiction, we must walk amongst those who that don't believe in us. She said a warrior. And I believe her. And I can see it. So I salute to you, Miss Rachel Paz. You are definitely a warrior. And continue to fight. Mr. Show Out TV, I will always be here for you. There you have it, everybody. I hope everyone out there today has enjoyed this show. With me, I'm doing very, very well, everybody. I'm doing very, very well. Just started the second semester of school. The newborn, Kingston, is here. Still working, still sober, still clean. We're doing it the right way. That's what we're doing. We're doing it the right way. So continue to rock with me. Continue to show me some support. Continue to hit that like button, and continue to hit that notification bell. And if anybody out there that would love to come to the show, make sure you send me a message. It's very easy to find me. But I will also, before I get off the show, everybody, I would love for everybody right now to give a moment of silence for the Riley family. The Riley family, you are in my heart. You are in my prayers. The city of Wynn is in my heart and in my prayers. That is my city. And I would love for everybody out there right now to continue to pray for my city. Continue to pray for the Riley family. Like I said, we have lost two great people in the city of Wynn, everybody. And one of those great people was my classmate, was my best friend, was one of my brothers. And I will miss you. I will miss you, Pierre Pato Riley. You will be missed. We will always remember you. We will always remember that big smile, that big mouth of yours. I love you, brother. Rest on. Rest on. Like I said, everybody, this show was very awesome today. I hope everybody got something out of this show today. I hope everybody enjoyed the show today. That is what we're trying to do, everybody. We're trying to motivate, we're trying to inspire, and we're trying to give hope. So if you would love to send any donations to the channel, you can do that through the Cash App. Once again, thanks to Miss Rachel Paz for blessing the show, for blessing the channel, for sharing her insight about addiction. A rose can grow underneath concrete. Like you said, you have to be a warrior. You have to want it, and you have to be determined. That's what it's about, everybody. If you want it bad enough in addiction, you can make it happen. You can make it happen. But like I said, everybody, thank you again. I cannot thank you enough for choosing my platform to come to on this day, on this holiday. Thank you. Thank you for choosing my platform to come to on this holiday. Thank y'all for rocking with me for an hour. And continue to support the channel. This is Mr. Show Out TV. I hope everybody have a blessed rest of their holidays. Continue to stay prayed up. Continue to believe in yourself. And like Miss Rachel said, continue to be a warrior. It's Mr. Show Out TV. Yeah. What's up, everyone? It's Mr. Show Out TV. And thank you for choosing my channel to come to for great content about addiction and recovery-related topics. Let's continue to inspire those in addiction. Let's continue to make a difference. Let's continue to subscribe, everyone. Continue to subscribe. Continue to hit them like button. Let's get these likes up. And continue also, remind yourself to hit the notification bell. So when anytime I go live, you will be notified. Let's continue to inspire those in addiction. Thank you so much for choosing my platform to come to for great content. Continue to watch my videos and continue to share the message. Mr. Show Out TV. Yeah.